Hi everybody, we're back. We're going to cover red and blue Dal Segno. I don't actually know how to pronounce it. Dal Segno, Dal Segno, I'd be concerned. Anyway, we'll go first with the blonde level 1 combo, of which there are 2 in this set. Noeri, little sister that takes care of others, is a 1045. When this attacks, if there are cards in your memory, this gains 1/5, so it becomes 6k. And 1 cost, when this attacks, if the first step towards definitely being happy is in the climax zone, you may pay 1. That is the marquee for every pyramid scheme ever. If so, choose one of your other characters in this. They gain the ability. When this card's battle opponent is reversed, you may salvage 1 character.
This character is a trap. That climax is a trap. The first step to being happy is accepting yourself.
Apparently, the first step to being happy is lusting after your little sister. If we're to follow this card.
She's only a stepsister.
Of course she is.
There's a real little sister in this set as well.
Who would have thought?
Of course she is. Assuming that the main
it's
character
not
probably has black hair and she is blonde.
It's not as if this has already happened in the second Da Capo game.
Again, I repeat, do you know how rare it is for, siblings to have different hair colors? Especially one of them being blonde. Blonde is a recessive gene.
Wait, no.
In anime, it's like a given.
My sister's blonde and I have brown hair.
What a date. Are both your parents blonde?
Do you live in an anime?
No. At least I don't think so.
Wait,
anyway.
I'm not sure.
Are your parents blonde?
No, both aren't.
Damn.
But my father was blonde when he was younger.
Okay, well that actually does happen. So. Anyways.
Alright, so
what we learned today is that I live in an anime.
Yes.
Yeah, you live in an anime, that is correct.
Surprise, your sister is your stepsister. And she wants to be.
So I totally expected this there to be a red level 1 bomb. There isn't one.
Unfortunate.
There is one.
Well, there is, but not in Dal Segno. There's one in there's 2 in Da Capo. There's 2 in Da Capo, but
and
but
even one really good one. But this just.
I mean, if you went the full masochist route and did good stuff's DC, this doesn't actually have any trait stipulations.
Yeah.
So this is actually playable in some retarded no trait stipulation deck in the series that rewards trait stipulations more than anything else.
But the thing is, you could also just play Suginami in the deck.
Yes, you could. But at that point, you aren't using this combo at all.
Yeah.
And Suginami has its own share of problems that we can talk about if we have to. So anyway, this card is a 6k on offense. It's actually a lot bigger if we use a specific 0/0 blue card.
And the climax combo is with a stock soul or a gate?
It's with a gate.
So
7k there is a 0/0.
So it's just 7k straight up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's 7k straight up. There's also a 0/0 blue card, which is like my favorite card in the whole set. I forget exactly how much power it ends up giving, but it gives a lot. Like it's I'll find the card. Where is it? Oh damn it, where is it? Yeah, no, so what happens is it gives 3k power, basically. Yeah, so if you have a very specific front row, then you get 2 10ks, which is really sweet, but on the swing back, they're only 4/5, so they get farmed by literally everything. Yeah, so I believe that the 0/0 I'm thinking of will get used. It's a really sweet card, I like it a lot. But at the same time, this card has no presence on defense, and if you don't have that 0/0, then you just don't do anything. It's also really bad if your opponent doesn't have multiple characters to reverse, because at that point, this is just doing a really bad Shiro impersonation, and we all know how bad that card is.
It's also worse against anti-salvage.
Of course. Because in order to get the full benefit, you need to salvage multiple times, which means there's no way you can dodge anti-salvage completely with this.
Yeah. But as a card itself, the ceiling of this is fine. It's just it probably should, the recollection should be 2 cards, and then it gains power cross turn.
Constantly. I still think this is only a playable card. I don't actually like it very much. It's neat. There are some neat combos.
It's probably the biggest draw to red, which is kind of sad in its own way.
Red. There's a 3/2 restander, which is okay.
I think the card is fine. I mean, like, the pay 1 plus, theoretical +2 is fine. You just need... I don't know if 7k is going to be enough.
It's not a +2, you have to play a climax.
Well, I mean, the first one is a wash, and the second one is like pay 1 plus 2.
In the game, you can probably call it a pay +2 because everybody wants to play climax as level 1.
I mean, you're gonna be.
I mean, that still doesn't make it a +2.
You're losing it on the backswing like every time, though, right?
Yeah, like it dies on the backswing. It's not gonna survive.
So like, it's actually one of those combos where you want to hit level 1 second, and sometimes that's like really awkward. Like I've had games where that is an awkward circumstance to be in.
Not convinced this is good. Like it loses to anti-salvage. It loses if it doesn't get the 0/0 in hand as well. It loses if the opponent just doesn't have much to kill. I think it's playable. I think people will play into it, and I think it'll be still be good because of that. But I do not think it is nearly as good as its pricing suggests.
Sure.
Yes. That is also why this is the only RR I haven't bought.
How are the double rares? Do they work in this set? Like, do you get like some?
I don't actually know how they work, but there's like a whole bunch of them, different colors.
There's 8. It's not
okay,
like that.
Okay.
It's like standard. I don't know how they split it up. But
I'll have a look at you.
You just get 4.
So
you should
the
just
only
buy
one
singles. The set is cheap as fuck.
The only ones that are sold out are the 3/2 Ame and the 0/0 bomb that we're about to. Wait, no, that's Mikoto. Never mind. That's the.
DC. Oh, that's all. Yeah, DC. Yeah.
DC.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next up.
All right. Next card is Noeri in swimsuits 00500. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may put the top 2 cards of your deck in waiting room. If there are any climaxes milled, you may change the top card of your opponent's deck with a card in your opponent's waiting room. Now, if you really, really want to get your 2/1 Hazuki change off, you can use that effect to put a climax back to the top. And then it has...
No.
Man, I'm arguing in your favor here.
No.
1 cost, put the top card of your deck in clock, send this to memory. When this is reversed in battle, you may pay cost. If you do, salvage a character. So it's that mediocre salvage Ricky profile that we've seen before and has never consistently seen play.
This is better because it's on reverse, actually.
This is better because it goes to memory.
Yeah. I think this is like decent to good.
It's playable. You need red fixing, and this is probably the best red fixing. And yeah, it's got that synergy with the Hazuki that you like so much. So clearly a good card, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm just being a jerk.
Live the dream.
I'm
Live the
probably
dream.
playing a couple copies of this regardless.
Yeah,
Of
you play this card. It's fine.
Yeah.
Playable.
It's red fixing more than anything else.
It's like this might be the first Savage Ricky that I don't hate.
How many Savage Rickies have there been? Like 2?
There's been the AOT one, there's been the Ilya one, there has been the Kisniver one.
I honestly didn't know those 2 sets had it. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Alright then.
Alright.
I'm giving this card a playable. It's just
playable.
Nori cooking. All your other Dal Segno characters gain 500 power. And 2 cost, tap this. Choose a level X or lower character in your waiting room and add it to hand, where X is the number of cards in memory. This is everything bad about Off-Time Makoto without the good parts of Off-Time Makoto.
I have seen worse cards.
Yeah, me too.
I also don't want to run this.
I don't think this card is worth it.
No.
The dual support element is not useful, and 2 costs to have half of a selective plus until you turn it on fully is very unsatisfactory. And you're definitely not running it outside Dal Segno deck anyway. So I don't like this card at all. I don't think it's a mistake to include it in your deck if you're playing a wall level 1, but I also don't think it's very good, so I'm going to give it a niche.
Yeah, niche minus.
Sure, niche.
Alright, Nori, wanting to grow, she's 3/2 10k. She can't be early played or anything. All she is gains 500 per other Dal Segno character, so that's like a 12k base. Up to once a turn during the place when this turn is placed from hand to stage. When you reverse your battle opponent, mill the top card of your deck. If there's a soul trigger icon on the card you milled, restand this.
I'm gambling.
So
I'm
this
gambling.
combos with a bunch.
You're not gambling.
I'm not. You actually have a lot of scry, so it's very.
Well,
easy
you
to
can
set up.
also just gamble, like 30 level 3 deck combo.
You can only really guarantee the first one, of course.
No, you can guarantee 2. There's a Nemu or whatever the girl's called.
You have a
from
scry 4?
First set. Yeah, you have a scry 4.
There you go.
It's also a bodyguard that's 9k base.
Of course, it's a bodyguard.
Is it a bodyguard? I'm not sure. It's I know it's 9k base, but I'm not sure if the second
I don't
build
remember
was
bad
bodyguard.
cards of bad characters, man. Nemu sucks.
It was check top 4 and it was 9k. I don't remember the rest.
Alright, so this card, I think it's really good. I like it a lot. Not enough to play red just for this, but it's a costless restand. Costless 12k restand, that's insane.
You also...
You can basically say that this had the restand cost of ditching a specific 1/0 event from your hand.
I mean, sure, that's fair enough. With that in mind, it's
This is still good.
Roughly equivalent to like a better LB Sasami. And I love that card, like the pretty much guaranteed clock kick. Unless your opponent has a sack counter.
Yeah, no, I think this is probably one of the cheapest restanders we ever got.
It is the cheapest restand we've ever seen.
Yeah, but yeah,
like this is low key an incredibly good card. You just need some setup, and having Ogawa is not necessarily 100%. The other issue with this card is that if you are playing the super stock charge into IO level 3 deck, you want 3 level 3 IOs. You don't want one of this on the field. So if you're playing that deck, then this will only ever be an auxiliary attacker, and I don't know if you want to play more than 1 or 2.
No, like the biggest issue this has is that all of your decent finishes are on reverse, so you're running out of on reverse targets.
Is IO in reverse?
Yeah,
Yes,
IO is on reverse.
Alright, this card is alright. It's like really above spec for what it is. I think it's a safe card to print because there's so much counterplay to it. It is just a 12k. 12k is a lot, but nowadays it's very, very easy to deal with. So I'm going to give this card playable. Plus, I like it a lot. I don't know whether it actually deserves that grade.
It's an above spec card that somehow misses a shell, basically.
I'm just sticking to playable.
Playable. Yeah, playable is fine.
It's not that like the card itself is objectively bad. Like a costless restand can be completely insane. It's just, I don't know. You do need to set it up usually, which is awkward, and it's hard to set up multiples. So, yeah.
Very hard. Yeah.
All right. Next card. Nori, acknowledging her feelings. It's a 0/1k. If you have one or few other characters, all your other characters gain.
That's a typo.
Gain 150 power.
Yes. Gain 1,500 power. When this is reversed in battle, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's level 1 or higher, this card goes to stock.
We almost had the 30 level 3 Da Capo deck.
No, we do.
Quite.
We do. There's a promo.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah, there's a promo which says on reverse when it's reversed you may. Oh my god, it's 2.9.
Yeah. The hat promo.
Yeah, the hat promo is exactly that. So yeah, you can do.
So you play this, and then you play like the restander.
You be quiet. If you have one or few other characters, like this effect is on the Fenrich from Disgaea. It's been on a few other cards since.
The clock
It's a
bomb being
it's
the
a fun.
most notable one.
Yes,
From
the Yui
Love.
Clock Bomb is a notable one. It's a fine card. And then, once you've gotten enough value out of it, you can try and cash it in for extra stock. It's just a whole bunch of nice little effects that I think add up to a very playable card.
Yep.
And I think I like this one as fixing as well. Like, I think this is maybe a 2 of.
It's a really reasonable filler card. There's like enough upside
Yeah.
on it that it's a good turn 1 play with another character. And
Mm-hmm.
if you like, even if you didn't have like another turn 1 play, like sometimes you'll just happen to get the second stock anyways. So
Yep.
like it's fine.
If you need to,
if you needed to attack with it on turn 1, like you didn't have anything else to attack with.
it's fine.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, playable for me. Next card,
Playable for
Noeri,
me.
it's Aquarium Date. It's a 1/1 2K. When you use this card's backup, if you have 2 or more Kazana Dal Segno characters in memory, choose a character that gains 1/5 for the turn. So this is a 3K backup if you have 2 characters in memory.
That's not bad.
It's a fairy tale backup.
It is, yes, it is the Fairy Tale backup. It is comparable to the Persona backup, actually.
Like a 1/1 3K counter is
The
fine.
Persona backup is different because you. Well,
I know,
no, it's
I
kind
know.
of the same. Yeah.
It's pretty much the same.
Um, I'm not sure if you have like just like same as before. I'm not sure if you have the shell that this is useful in,
Mm-hmm.
but you probably run like 1 copy.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, I can see 1 copy.
Why is the level 3 Husky 1280? It's ridiculous.
Wait, what?
Next,
What? Oh, the green one. Yeah, it was 980 on release.
Ridiculous. My God.
wait, 38C.
137.
Yeah, I missed the card again. Jeez.
Alright, so Nori, Overly Nervous. It's a 1/1 7K. If you have 2 other two other Dal Segno characters, this gains 500 power and character encore, or hand encore rather. When this is placed from hand to stage, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a climax card, rest this. Man, it's 2016 and I'm reading Angel Beats cards. So this is a very serviceable oversize in a color that you might want to play at level 1 anyway. So if you're playing the level 1 combo, I think this is a very decent card to have alongside. The problem is that the level 1 combo is costed, and so is this card. So you're never going to get a real good snowball going if you play the 1/0 and then you play this. But worst case scenario, you've got a 1/1 7/5 hand encore that you can protect with your counter, at which point you get into quite a decent number, like 9/5 is pretty decent. Alongside a couple rows that your opponent will probably just farm you on and ignore this row for, which is
Fine.
yeah, it's fine. It's like a tactic that you can use pretty well. Like if you've got one really obviously big character that you are planning on having stay alive, like you're planning on that plus, you can kind of bait your opponent with 2 other quote unquote more like better characters. Like the comparison I'd make is the difference between the Ellie Mikan and the Climax Combo Mikan. You should always try to kill the Climax Combo Mikan so they can't do it again. But using that logic, you can kind of expect the Ellie Mikan to stay there.
Yeah.
If your opponent doesn't want to risk running into your 2K counter. So like it's a little tactic you can use. You can use it with this card in the 1/0. I mention it specifically because that character's tiny.
I mean, I'm not really sure I'd call it baiting because it's just like the obvious play for both players, and like also has sort of protection because it's encore.
It's not the obvious. It's not the obvious play though.
Isn't it?
No, it's not. Like that's the conservative play. It's definitely the conservative play.
I don't know. Are you assuming that most people
so
aren't
you
making
mean if
conservative
you
plays?
Hmm?
Are you assuming that like the conservative play isn't the obvious play?
The conservative play is what most people nowadays would do, but it's not the obvious play. It's not like the actual play you'd always do. Anyway, like that's not important. What's important is that this card is playable.
Yeah. The downside isn't that brutal either. I mean, there's enough top checking in the deck that it's like not a problem.
Yeah, I think
It's
fine.
also just when you hit the climax and not when you hit
Anything,
Kazashima.
yeah,
Yeah, so you can hit events, which like
It's fine.
makes this playable. I think if it was only characters, I wouldn't play this.
What is with this island, by the way, that it's so important that everyone have this trait?
It's just their way of
It's
unifying.
literally
Dal Segno.
just to just no. I think the island has like some relevance, like the with the events, hinting at
No,
spoilers.
that's bullshit because the capo is all on the same island as well. Why doesn't
Is
every
it?
single card have the
Okay.
Sakura tree trait?
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look this up at some point, and there's gonna be some spoilers. I can feel it.
Not worth it. Alright, next card. May, the favorite little sister. 0/0. Oh, this card is part of a 2-card
Wait,
duo.
isn't the other girl the little
This is
sister?
the flavor. Of course, I'm the real little sister of Oni-sama. There you go. Real little sister.
Real little sister. All right.
So
Quick,
this
quick,
card's
okay.
quick,
0/0.
quick comparison.
Fake little sister, real little sister.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, so this little sister is when this attacks, if a certain 1/0 is in your clock, this gains 4k power for the turn.
Woo!
And it's got shift level 0, which is neat.
Actually helps set it up really well.
Yep. Yes, because the other card is a 1045 with the exact same text, except it needs the 0/0 on your clock. It's got shift level 1.
Is it another real little sister or is it another fake sister?
It's
She's the real
May
little
thinking
sister.
of Oni-chan or something.
Let's just stop for a moment. This card doesn't have the Southern Island trait.
Oh, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It has the family trait.
Yes, that's all it has.
What you're telling me is that, like, in my Shin-chan standard deck, this is going right in.
Yep. Absolutely. Right alongside those kill the kill cards you have.
Exactly.
So this card is it's bad. I'm not playing this card.
Oh yeah.
You shouldn't play this card.
By
Same
extension,
goes
when we
for
get to the other
1/0.
one, it's also bad.
Yes. Even
So-
though that's a 1085 on attack, it's still bad.
So who's on the train that Bushiroad should print more actually useful shift cards instead of just giving the ability to?
Well, I'm
Shift
still on
is
the train
really
that they need.
dangerous.
I'm still on the train where they need to like get a new symbol for shift and the other clock things that they do.
Yeah. Shift is extremely dangerous. I don't want them to print anything too strong for it because it's randomly broken.
Sounds like
Like here's another way to look at it. Shift takes away all of the decision of clocking.
You just clock the card with shift and you get it back if you need it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So
It gives you
reduces
extra
decision-making.
information that you get to work with for free.
Exactly. It opens up some deck building possibilities, but I don't think that's worth it when you're losing out on a lot else. Why is this 1280? That's ridiculous.
But-
Anyways,
yeah, but I'm not wanting them to print broken shift cards. I just want them to print shift cards that you could actually play and not like feel bad about.
Right, like say in Rewrite, there's a Lucia Brainstorm with Shift. Card is mediocre as hell. It's fantastic in the mono green deck.
Like
Next up, by the way,
in,
is-
in Madoka, there's the 1/0 yellow counter with shift, which is like fine.
that card
The
has
issue
so
is
much.
that yellow is the worst color, like by far. So you can't actually play it.
There's so many keywords on that card. It's insane.
It's only 2 keywords, man.
That's like more than most cards. Most cards get one.
Nuri, welcome in the morning together.
It's a vanilla.
Vanilla.
Yeah, it's
Yep,
bad.
Next card, Nuri at the buff, the 005k.
I think this is also
It is
bad.
actually bad.
When this plays from out of stage, rest this.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter
don't
how
play
big
this.
your 005k is. This rests always.
This is bad. It is bad. Do not play it.
Please. Next is
Next card. May, thinking of Big Brother, is the bad 1/0 that we talked about earlier.
I'm glad I haven't had to change the rating. Next.
Man, this guy and his little sisters. What a freaking. Alright, Nori, stepsister. Spoilers. Alarm. If this is on top of your clock and you have 2 or more island characters, at the start of your climax phase, choose a character and stand it. Whoa! Oh, we got the combos. So you played a 005k, and then this stands it.
Oh
And then it
shit!
becomes
And
a
it's
7K.
007k.
You know what else? You know what other deck
Unbeatable.
has 007Ks?
No.
Terraformers.
Wait,
I
how?
mean, I guess that's what you're going to say, but I couldn't actually confirm it.
It has like
Yeah, no.
007Ks at level 0.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it just 6-5?
So it gets a 1,000 or it gets 500 when it comes in. So it's like a 5K, and then your back rows get it to like 6. But if you're using the later ones, you can get it to 7K using the 2-1s. The 2-1 back rows. And if you have
Oh, yeah, like 7k at not level 0, sure.
6K at level 0 is like
Yeah.
super easy.
I'm just extremely unhappy this stupid level 3 is 1280. Everything else is so cheap.
Anyways, this card is. I think it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
If there's an alarm card you want to run in the capo, it's the
It's-
Anzu.
Yeah.
But that's on a choice list with the card you want to run with it, so it's. That's good.
What the
Next.
hell? Why is the IO 680 yen? Oh, whatever.
Becoming
I don't
true
know.
family. This is some real incesty bullshit.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's not actually what it's. Well, actually, it could be. You just have a sick mind, man. Choose one of. When becoming
Yeah,
true family.
you know, she's talking about it, and the real sister is next to her.
Is she?
I'll just assume.
Okay,
Whatever.
so it is pronounced Dal Segno because it's actually an adjective used in music.
I know. That's why I thought it was Dal Segno, because I'd heard it before somewhere.
I
DS and DC are both music terms.
Well, the capo, I actually do know is a music term, but
Yeah, Dal Segno is to the next segment, isn't it?
Dal
To the
Segno is
next,
from the
over-
sign.
From the sign?
So you go back to where the sign was.
DSL
Yeah.
coder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
this takes me back.
To when we
Oh
actually
yeah,
play
yeah.
music.
That's why. That's why I thought it was, because DSL coder means you jump to the next coder marking. Yeah,
Yes.
That's why I was confused. Yeah.
Anyways,
All right.
now
so
I need to Google Dal
anyway.
Segno VN because I'm trying to figure out what the fuck this island has to do with anything.
It's an island, probably like a virtual simulation.
There's
from
no
the Orbis
Wikipedia page on
Paradise
this,
system.
and I don't want to like go.
Okay, so this card makes your card and another card into a bomb.
Same
and then
level box with a stock soul.
Same level bombs, yeah, and it
Ah.
pumps stuff if something gets reversed.
You know, this is pretty sweet with the 1-0 climax combo.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
About that.
close but not quite there.
Bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad because the effects
Anyway.
are objectively bad. It's just this is not worth a climax base in any universe, and the other effect
I
is not
think
worth
the
it.
effects kind of suck. Like, why do you want these effects? They don't do anything.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say
I think like
I'm-
the second ability is kind of neat.
I'm gonna be really harsh
I mean,
and say
3k
bad.
is a lot.
I'm gonna say
3k is a lot.
I'm gonna be really harsh and say it's bad. Like these on reverse effects, like they're really obnoxious, but they're not like impossible to deal with. So like I'm
Yeah.
not overly concerned. So I'm probably a little bit over harsh with this rating when I say bad, but I am gonna say it's bad. I think this is an active
I don't
detriment
think
to your
there's
deck.
room for this card.
It's
This
probably
isn't-
bad.
It's
think-
just not a card you play. It's a 2-1 do nothing until you have a card die.
Like I think this is an active detriment to your deck to put it into it. Like you should not be playing this card in any circumstance.
Yeah, like the cards you really want to get rid of anyway usually tend to be above your level.
Yeah.
So this doesn't do anything worthwhile there.
Well, I mean, you could theoretically sack 2 things and kill it, but
Oh look, I mean, if you're playing the music deck, then you do have ways to pump level, and then you can bomb their level 3 with your level 2. And before you laugh, I've done that in Persona so many times that I don't really want to think about
Well,
it.
there's also an entire deck in Persona that revolves around that, so it's not really a fair
You
card.
just need to
Find
play
my
more
copy of
Adachis.
that deck.
What?
I know I have that deck somewhere, I just can't find it. Nor do I really want to find it.
I have it too, and it just feels really terrible because you eat like
It
14
feels
damage
really
damage.
teru.
because you have no board.
Yeah, pretty much. You have no board, and you have a bunch of stock, but then you just die. Anyway, next card. Nori, Everlasting Summer Paradise. 2-1.
What kind of paradise are we talking about here?
A lewd one, probably knowing the nature of this game.
Yeah.
If there are 5 or more climax cards
This
in your
is in the
opponent's
Matrix,
weight,
so
this
Oh,
gets a
it's
neg 1 level in
probably
your
that.
hand.
the summer never ends.
So this is a 1175 if your opponent has milled a crap ton.
So a perfect counter
It's a
to animal.
1075 if your opponent milled a crap ton.
And you have 4 other characters. So the reason I don't think this is a very likely occurrence either, but the reason this effect is okay is because you don't have to play it at the first turn of level 1. Like, you can play it the next turn, and you'll be okay.
I'm still okay with
And-
playing this at level 2 just because it's still free.
It's a 2075. It's only 1 soul, but whatever, that's fine. You get to bash people with it.
I mean, when you're
it's
not
the
paying
worst.
stock for things, like I have a greater lenience to do things.
Mhm.
Also, is that the hat in the upper right corner?
Yeah.
It's a very tiny fragment of the head.
Alright, so this card is eligible in waifu deck.
Yes, seems like it. Alright.
Yeah, so
next
so
card.
now we can splash red and green.
Yes. Only using these cards as a splash.
Only using 2 ones to splash.
For themselves.
Yes.
Yes. This card is playable minus.
Hmm.
Not
I
not
don't-
minus
I
because it's
don't- I'm
not-
giving it niche. I don't like red.
not because it's minus because it's bad, but minus because it's just not good.
Niche, because it's red, yeah.
Alright.
Alright,
And
next
finally
card.
the event.
Watashi no Oni-chan desu. So 3
Bad.
swords.
Bad. Don't
No,
play this.
no.
Bad.
It's not. Well, let's talk about it a little more. First, choose up to 5 non-climax cards in your waiting room, return them to your deck, and shuffle your deck. If you return 5 cards, deal X damage to your opponent, where X is the number of climax cards in your waiting room. Then choose one of your Dal Segno characters. It gains 4k power.
Okay. So
Wait,
It's pretty obvious what this is trying to work with, right? Like, this is trying to facilitate the 3-2.
Wait. I misread this card. I thought it was on reverse.
it's trying to it's definitely trying to make it so that you can
Yeah, so the chance of
So
you
you
hitting...
can restand, yeah.
Yeah, the chance of you restanding naturally is higher. That's what
But
it
you're also
does.
throwing more soul
And it-
triggers into your deck, so like you will also just be doing a little bit more damage that way as well, probably.
YOLO.
YOLO.
I mean, on average, sure.
But you're also,
on
like,
average.
You're also throwing
Okay,
in more
okay,
cards
so I'm
into your
pretty
deck.
sure this card is still bad, but I
I-
thought it was worse than it really is.
It is still bad.
I don't think you play this. It's just it's a high commitment for a card that doesn't do enough. Even if you shoot them for 3 damage, if they survive, then you're more likely to die. That's just an absolute. Just an absolute. Like, you can't question that.
This is in fact how math works, yes.
Yes. And the 4k power is mostly irrelevant. There are ways to get power in this set that don't require that.
That said, a 3-2 burn 3 can be pretty good.
Yeah, it's way better than Burn 5. Worse than Burn 2, but you take what you get.
Burn
But
3 is like second best burn.
I think burn 3 is my favorite burn if the goal is to like do maximum damage to probability ratio.
Mhm.
But I mean, coin flips. This card is bad. Or niche.
I don't think you play this ever. Like, it's neat. You can do stuff with it, but I don't think it's an actual inclusion. If you're playing it, you're doing so under the covenant that you know it'll lose you games sometimes. Yeah, it'll sometimes win you games, but there are lots of bad cards that sometimes win you games. It doesn't make them good. Like, you occasionally win with Door to Nothingness. That doesn't make it a good card.
Niche minus. Alright.
Smash through blue quickly. Alright, first card. IO, Morning Accident. 3-2-9-5.
What
If there are 2 or
morning
more
accident? What kind of accident?
She probably
You walked
ran
into her
the
changing.
protagonist.
But this doesn't
Is
look
that
like
actually
she's
what
changing
happened?
right now.
No, she probably
Um,
just fell on the ground because she had toast in her mouth and wasn't looking where she was going.
No, she's like having some Chuny phase, whatever. She's the Chuny character, so she's like acting out some evil summonings. I don't know.
You're laughing, but I'm pretty sure that's very plausible. So,
Doesn't make me think it's any less stupid.
yeah, I agree. 3-2-9-5. gains 1k if you've got 2 Dal Segno characters in memory. Not hard, we've established this. When this is placed from hand to stage, draw up to 2 cards and discard a card from hand to waiting room. Draw
Good
2
effect.
each one, always good. And 1 cost, when the Daughter of the Demon King
Holy
rises,
shit.
guess who that is?
Holy shit.
It's the pants. Is placed to your climax zone. If this is in the front row, you may pay the cost of 1. If you do, choose this character and another one of your Dal Segno characters, and those characters gain 2/5 power and the ability, when the battle opponent of this is reversed, mill 3 and deal X damage, where X is the number of climax cards milled this way.
At least you're probably gonna refresh if you do this.
Yeah, with
I
one
like
climax.
this. I like this better than Ranko a lot.
This is I think this is better than Ronco. I don't think it's better than Yami, but I think this is better than Ronco.
Yeah, I think this has an absolute ceiling higher than Ranko by far, and a floor that is only very slightly lower, if that. Like, it's probably just straight up higher.
Yeah.
Ranko is costless, sure,
But
if you assume that the
Importantly, like Ronco, you can mill like 3 climaxes, right? With this, you're more likely to hit 1 or 2, and those are like
Yes.
better things to be hitting.
correct. With Ranko also, she doesn't dig for a climax, does she? She's only a heal.
Yeah, I think she's a complete heal.
Yeah. Whereas this digs for it, and if you have how much is it? 9 stock. If you can slam 3 of these, then I mean that's a pretty good attack.
And it's
It's also basically guaranteeing you to reverse if the opponent has characters.
yeah, I mean everything
But-
is going to be 15-5 at least.
The kind of issue that this has is that you're decompressing yourself by 1 billion, and then you're milling through your entire deck.
You're almost
I mean-
guaranteeing that you're also
So
dealing
it's kind
damage
of a
to
Hail
yourself.
Mary play, like either you murder your opponent or you just die.
You're probably dealing a damage to yourself at the end of the game. At the end of the day, at the end of that turn, you're probably just refreshing. You're going to be milling at least.
The damage potential here is
I feel like-
insane. though.
So each
I feel
character
like
is
this
milling
is-
7 cards individually, right? The 1 from the stock and the 6 that they're milling, if they reverse, which they probably will.
Hmm.
I feel like
Um,
this is like
notably-
kind of like okay. So
Yeah,
let's
no.
let me just finish.
That's the comparison I was going to make. It is
The-
kind of like Yami, but it is worse in almost every way.
Notably,
Yeah.
this is really funny. I just
No,
realized this.
no, I meant like it's kind of. I'm not gonna say. Okay, let's call it more like Ale, in the way that
No.
you
It is more like Yami.
no. Okay, I'm just gonna finish what I want to say. Like, you probably don't want to play this when your opponent is at 3-0. You probably want to push him like a bit above that, and then just kill them during this turn.
I mean, that's the same as Yami, though.
Yeah, that's
Where-
like
oh,
that's
you
where
attack
where I got
is
the
different.
comparison from. And Arl is the
Yeah.
same. Like, you probably
problem-
just want to, if you're at 3-0 and have like 10 clean stock or something, you just probably want to do chip damage, push your opponent a little higher, and then like kill them
Notably, and this is
before you murder
really,
your compression.
really amusing, you are required to mill if it reverses, right? Even if you don't want to.
I think
Yes,
Ranko-
you
Yes,
have to mill.
you have to mill, which means if you get money countered and you have the unfortunate existence to mill some climaxes,
Yeah.
That's actually
So that's the
yeah.
other thing about EO. Like, she's on reverse, which means she's automatically vulnerable to sack counters.
yeah.
She is not hexproof. She's automatically vulnerable to anti-damage, and she's quite heavily costed as opposed to Yami. So it is a worse Yami in every single way, especially because damage isn't guaranteed. I think damage is relatively guaranteed because the deck that plays 3 of this will be probably quite compressed due to slamming so much stock.
I'm not saying like
Yes.
you're unlikely to hit it. Like, you are very likely to hit 1 or 2 on basically every activation. It's just
No, I don't think about every activation, but you'll
Well, I
get
mean, you're-
one in every.
you're getting
2
6
almost
activations, so I'm
guaranteed.
expecting an average of probably like 4 damage to be dealt by these effects.
I think so. That's probably reasonable.
Yeah, that's like the average.
Like, I'm expecting about like 4 to hit. Like,
4 to 5. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm expecting. And obviously it depends on state, but like that also means like every money counter that you eat is just that much more brutal, right? Like, if you happen to hit the one that was going to be dealing 3 and you get money countered on that one, like that was conveniently the one you got money countered on, not only you're just missing out on the rest of the turn, right? But you're in a worse position if you weren't able to refresh that turn either.
Mhm.
So like
Look, that's fair. That's like still a bit niche.
it,
for
it,
my,
it,
I don't,
it is an edge case, but it's something like you have to be considering when like Two Lover is in the meta, right? And Two Lovers is also a deck where it's like, okay, you killed my Yamis, so I'm going to hand Encore and try again if I'm not dead yet.
That's fair. That's reasonable.
Okay, so I still think this is the end game of choice in the Dal Segno decks.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
the best deck.
This is like, I'm saying all the things, but like overall, like this is a super solid finisher.
Yes.
I think it's quite good. Like, it's not broken good, but I'm gonna give it a good rating. I think
It's
fine.
decent,
It,
yeah.
it being a pants is actually very convenient, even though it already has draw 2 ditch 1. It's like you're super likely to have the climax ready.
It being a pants is also saving the capo from 4K pants, which is why I ordered like 12 of them on release.
Oh, the pants?
Yeah, because the capo only had the promo pants before, and that was like
Yep.
4K.
Has it been that long? But yeah, no, like it being a pants is
has.
convenient though, because like with the draw 2 ditch 1 and the climax being a pants, like you're almost always gonna get this. Like this is why the Yami decks, the 2 lever decks, often run that 1 of Maya or 2 of Maya, because sometimes you just need that extra 5 cards to dig, and you
Yeah.
won't need that here. So I think it's a very
Right.
solid card.
Also draws into your good events.
Yeah.
Which is relevant.
Money counter is going to be played, so
Yeah.
yep. All right, next up.
All right. So next card is Ame. Welcome to Paradise.
I just
It's a
realized
329.
Eo's trait is actually Chunibyo.
Yeah, it is actually just 8th greatest sickness.
Holy shit.
When this is placed from hand to stage, you heal. If you have 4 more other Dal Segno characters, this gains -1 level in hand, the freest condition. And when it attacks, choose one of your other Dal Segno characters. It gains X power for the turn. X is 500 times the number of the other Dal Segno characters.
It's not a bad early play. Like early play heal, and it'll probably run something over once, maybe. I mean, it's only 11k on offense.
Early
which
play
is-
9k. Early play, well, you can't choose itself, so it's only a 9k, and it gives 2k to something else, which is usually enough to run something over.
Hopefully.
But it's a 329k unsupported that will just probably die.
Notably,
horribly.
it plays really well with the EO. Because you get to get the extra 25. Like, the EOs will pump each other, and then you use this to get that 1 more EO pump.
I don't
Really?
think you
I
actually
don't
need
think, I don't
this.
think that's correct, because Ame pumps for
Yeah.
2k, EO pumps for 2.5.
No, I'm saying if
I'd
you
rather
don't have the
30.
other EO.
Oh yeah, well, you're a bad player. That's all. Just sack into
What?
it.
This is like interesting.
Just sack into it? So you're telling me I just gotta be Tim Tom the Bim Bomb and always just have 3 Harukas, right?
Not have 3 Yami. How is that not something that you...
I could.
I play
like,
True Lover
I
a
could-
lot. I don't think I've ever missed
You-
on triple Yami.
Yeah, see,
You miss
I think
sometimes.
you
but
do miss
it's
sometimes,
fine.
but
Usually,
it's not.
usually the miss is not tied to the Yami, but it's tied to the fact that they don't have the climax.
Well, anyway, point is, you don't miss on triple EO, so I don't think this is too relevant with EO. I think it's an okay advanced summon. I don't think it's good. It's nowhere near good.
I think you'll play it I think you'll play it.
Yeah, it's fine, but
It
it's
would
not
be a
that
lot
good.
better if any of the Encore supports the Capo had would be Island Trade.
But I think you will play this. You may not be always happy to see
Yeah,
it, but like,
You 100% play
it's
this.
an early play healer. It probably gets
with
something
a
dead.
free condition,
Yeah, and
so you'll always play this.
You always
but
have it.
it's like it just is very often going to die on the swing back, which
the
is
profile
kinda
itself
sad.
also like discourages opponents from using like sack counters on it because it's like, right?
Yeah,
So
I mean, I guess it's just a card that they can usually run over, even if it's like not something. You don't need TP Rin to run this over, for example. It's definitely a card that you can deal with otherwise. I'm giving it just a playable plus rating. It's still an early play heal, very free.
Yeah, playable plus seems fine.
Alright. Okay, now this is the card I was talking about when I was referring to a power pump. Ame, artificial. Oh, okay, sure, she's an AI, so there's your spoiler.
she's
When
an
this is placed from
AI.
hand to stage, yes. When this is placed from hand to stage, choose a character. one of the
Wow,
Dal Segno characters.
spoilers.
It gains 1k for the turn. And when you place a climax to the climax zone, you may bounce this back to your hand. If you do, choose a character and it gains 2k for the turn.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, so this is the card which you can loop again and again with climaxes in order to give your climax combo cards absurd amounts of power. You can even do this with the level 3 EO if that's something you're interested in doing.
I mean, sometimes
Now,
you might need the extra 3k pump, right?
yeah, you might, like if it's like a
If you
Devil
want to
Hawk or
murder
something
Lock
stupid.
Horizon and Devil Home Run,
Um,
sure.
you could definitely do it to whatchamacallit. You can get rid of Log Horizon pretty much. Kiznava doesn't give a shit. Kiznava still heals once. Wait, do they heal? No, they don't. You just run them over. Whatever. Kiznava gets run over as well.
Yeah, even Kisnava gets run over.
Easily. Like you just play one
Yeah.
or two of these and then just stack all the climax combos on the central the central IO and then you just run it over.
Yeah.
So the thing about this card is with the climax it's decent. If you want the double row effect you need two of this, which is a little less good, but that's fine. Without the climax, it's still a come and play give 1k, 2k 1 soul beater, that's fine. Like you can just run it into something and not feel too bad about it, especially if the 1k helps you get over something else. Next, you can bring it back to your hand and clock it, which I think is one of the better applications of this particular card. Because when it bounces back to hand, you're obviously, it's just a straight up, well, I don't think it's a plus, but it's a thing. Okay, so it basically gives you another
power
resource.
pump.
It's a free power pump.
It frees up your back row, so you can play brainstorms and whatever, and still gives you power. And then you can clock this, which is I think is really valuable.
You can like tap it for a brainstorm effect and then bounce it. Like that's
Okay,
fine.
so like the thing I see issues with this and like the red 1-0 combo, which is probably the most likely thing where you come with this, is that you'll actually bounce this to hand, and I feel like you'll actually go up a hand size then and not have back row.
That's the thing. If you play with a card like this, you can be more aggressive in the early game. So you can go down to like 3 cards in hand level 0, as long as those 3 or 5 cards or whatever after at level 1 are the cards you want. You can't feel too bad about that, especially because your level 1 combo only needs 1 copy of the 1-0 to really go off. So what this ultimately does is it facilitates a more aggressive level 0 game and a level 1 game where you don't care too much about being reversed on the swing back because you still have a full hand afterwards. And you got your rush early and by playing multiple characters. You got your rush in the mid game by playing the climax. And hopefully you're set up in a like this is completely costless outside of level 1.
Yeah.
You're set up in a way where you can start stockpiling stock. And then you get your 9 stock and slam 3 EOs, and hopefully that's enough to finish the game. But there's obviously a lot in between, so yeah, I like this card a lot, but I'd have to play with it to see exactly how good it is. I'm giving it just a playable plus right now.
I'm giving it playable plus. I think all the modes are relevant, and it's just like a solid enough card.
It's a sweet card.
It's an interesting card, I'll say that.
Yep. Arman swimsuits. It's a 002k. It's a brainstorm. When climax is placed to the climax zone, choose a character. That character gains 500 to the next end of your opponent's turn. So that's some marginal benefit for your climax combos. 1 cost, tap 2 brainstorm. Flip 4 for each climax. Search your deck for a Dal Segno character added to hand. It's a plussing brainstorm. What can I say about it? It's a good card. The secondary effect is barely there. Like 500 power is almost never relevant. It's just there. That's all it is. Because all it does is either stop you from tying with something, pretty rare, or it pushes you just out of counter range where your opponent was otherwise going to trade 2 for 1, which was probably not going to happen.
Or you push into a tie.
Yeah, you can push it to a tie, I suppose, but that still seems pretty unlikely. Like, it's still only 1 power level, and Dal Segno does not exactly have common power levels on its cards. Except the next card we're about to talk about, so maybe I said it too prematurely. Not the next card, 2 cards from now.
Yeah, this card is fine.
It's a good card. Like, it's got a brainstorm effect with some mild amount of upside.
Yeah.
Next up.
Alright, next card. Aqua in IO Dream Eagle. 0025.
Don't run this.
Yes, when this is placed from hand stage, put the top 2 cards of your deck in the waiting room, and it gains X power, where X is 1k times the number of Dal Segno characters you milled. So
God,
this is possibly, yeah, it's possibly 4/5, more likely 3/5 based on the number of events you run. Well, no, that's not true. If you play it turn 1, it's most likely 4/5. But
You're
it's
running
just
like
not a good
you're
card.
probably running like 16 misses, right?
Like this profile is not actively good. The come and play mill 2 oversize. It's good in index because you get a scry. It's good in like
But you see, in index, you keep the power.
yeah, it's good in girlfriend beta because it's a 3/5 encore regardless, and that mills you too in a deck that wants to get second refresh and doesn't have Azza. I can go on, but this card is not good enough.
I don't think you play this. Like, you don't really need fixing for blue in my mind. You're running enough blue everywhere else that you'll probably have it.
You don't. If you want to be really specific, you give this a niche rating because if we can't talk about hat waifu and ignore Chuny waifu, because I'm sure there are some weird people out there, Randall, who really, really like their Chunies. So I'm sure they could make this deck.
It also has a hat, by the way.
At one point, we just need, like, all of the Weiss community figures to battle to the death over Best Girl, apparently.
It'd be a slaughter.
No,
I'd
the
fuck
thing
them all.
that really bothers me about this card is that this is like the second or third time that they printed this at rare, and I'm like, no, why? Stop doing this.
It's to devalue your boosters, man.
Alright, next.
Truth behind a strange feeling.
What
So this
strange
is
feeling?
probably all
Summoning demons.
the ones. It's a 1/0. God damn it, man! This is a 1055.
Okay.
It's actually a 1065. If all your characters Dal Segno, it gains 1k. And when this is reversed in battle, your opponent may choose a character in your waiting room and put it on top of your deck.
Don't the blue ones usually go on the bottom of the deck?
No, this effect always puts on top.
Yes. No. He's saying that normally blue ones like the
The blue ones usually put
like
themselves
the,
on the bottom.
like the tri-premise. You guys take over. I have to do something for a moment.
Okay.
We can hear
So
his
usually,
phone.
the blue 1065s go on bottom of deck. This one,
This one puts a
has
card
the
from
red
the waiting room on the
ability.
top, yeah. Which is a little
It's-
bit weird.
it's still a 1065, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Like
It's
playable
playable.
filler.
I mean, the detriment isn't really that big of a deal usually.
Yeah,
So,
that's fine.
next up is IO Master Servant relationship. Who is the master and who is the servant? For each of your other Dal Segno characters, this gets 500 power, so it's going to be a 106k with pay 1 when the battle opponent when the battle opponent of this becomes reversed. If 2 from now on is in your climax zone, not sure what climax it is, probably a book or a stock soul, you may pay cost. If you do, pop an opponent's cost 0 or lower character, and by pop you bottom deck it. So it's pretty mediocre. This is definitely not the combo I want to be playing. It doesn't plus you, really. Unless the opponent's set is really dependent on their back row, which is where you're probably going to be looking the bottom deck. It just doesn't really do enough. Like, I guess against Rider, it's pretty funny, but like against Rider, you have to reverse. Like, how are you
I'm
reversing?
looking at the card, and it's stock soul.
It's a stock soul? I don't know
Yeah.
if that helps here. Like, the decks
It doesn't. It makes it neither better nor worse, really.
Yeah.
Also, like obviously, she's the master and the demon is the servant.
Oh, okay. Obviously.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know.
Yeah, this is not gonna be played anywhere except for people with bad taste in girls or something stacks.
I mean, it's niche, but it's...
Back row hate is like really good, but back row hate that's tied to a climax combo usually isn't.
Especially if it requires a cost and an on-reverse effect, so...
Yeah.
It's a lot going against it here. Next up is Io, Princess's Desire. 104k, again. And it has, when this is placed from hand to stage, or via the effect
Oh,
of...
it's the swap.
Yeah. Or via the effect of Io, Daughter of the Demon King, which is coming up next. We'll get to that together. Choose one of your other characters, and that character gets this... that character gains 1500 power until end of turn. Rest 2, put this in waiting room. Choose an Io, Daughter of the Demon King in your waiting room and put it into the slot that this was in. So, next up is Io, Daughter of the Demon King. Whoa. I copied way too much text here. But here you go. So this is Io Daughter of the Demon King, a 1045. This has the ability, when this is placed from hand to stage, or via the effect of the startup of Io Princess Desired to the stage, this gains X power until end of turn, where X is the number of your Dal Segno characters, and then it has the rest to swap. So they swap back and forth. One of them will pump one, and the other one pumps itself. This seems bad.
Yes.
This is a lot of cards, and you only get to swap really twice per turn at most, but that taps your entire back row down, so you can't brainstorm.
This is neither as good as the Charlotte switching, and neither as good as the Ima switching. And those cards are like okay.
Yeah. It feels really weak, and you're not plussing off of it either. It's not even as good as like the Shining Resonance switching shenanigans. So I'm gonna go ahead and say niche, but I would not run this at all.
Niche Madness, yeah.
Yeah. So next up is a 1/1 Ame, True Happiness. This is a 1/1 5k, so probably not an aggressive character, but that first ability says otherwise.
Oh god, this reminds me of something. Do you know what?
No.
115k?
Oh no, don't say it.
What card?
Oh, it's blue, and it's not a double R. It's okay. It's not a double R.
I'm still.
Oh my god, this is. Okay, so there's this set called Melty Blood, right? it's got a 1/1 double R. It's a blue 1/1 double R 5k.
Okay.
Which has
It also gains
experience
power.
experience 2. If you have experience 2, this gains 1,500 power.
All right, we're looking real close right now.
On the opponent's turn only.
All right, we're looking.
It has. And it has Hand Encore. That is this entire being.
Beautiful.
And it is signed.
Is she at least good girl?
No,
She's
she's
worst
worst
girl.
girl. Worst girl, objectively speaking, if you have any taste whatsoever.
I don't have a horse on best girl, worst girl race.
Yeah. Anyway, look. The point is, this card is not CL, so it has to be at least playable, right?
So its Recollection gains 1,500 power if you have any cards in memory. Climax combo on Climax placement, Wishing Upon the Star, which I guess is the book as we hit the stock soul in the pants.
Book.
If this is in your front row, choose.
Yeah, it's a really bad version of
Choose one of your other characters and this. They both gain the ability, when this attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a Dal Segno character, put it into your hand.
I don't know about being a bad version of something, but it's a bit odd. Like it's kind of like that what's his name from Kisnaifa, Tenga. It's kind of like the Tenga, except it's one, it's costed, and two, it doesn't need to reverse. So there's a lot of trade-off.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a better parallel.
This doesn't need to reverse.
It doesn't need to reverse. The
has to be a
saddest
better
thing is going to be if you play down 2 of this and then stack. Like, one card is going to have 2 instances of this ability and it's just going to miss every time. So you just get nothing.
The other issue is you're running a lot of events probably, and those are all misses.
Why is this 6/5?
Because of Recollection.
Why is
It should
this
be
6/5? Yeah, it should be
7K.
7k.
Yeah.
Because Bushiroad says it's an uncommon, so it needs to be bad.
Well, it should definitely be a 7k in terms of stats, because it's got a secondary effect. Actually, because it has a secondary effect, maybe it... Oh.
Well, it's losing 1,000 from the Recollection effect for sure. So is this Climax combo worth another 1,000? Usually Climax combos are only 5, so...
Recollection is usually only minus... Well, it depends on how
500.
much recollection power you get.
Yeah.
I guess...
But
look, I mean,
Recollection is usually... No, Recollection is actually
vanilla
minus
6/5.
1,000.
French vanilla 6/5 is like... That is a thing. Like 6/5 clock encores, 6/5 hand encores are all 1/1s. Which makes this one relatively at par, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. This doesn't seem like a card I'd play.
No.
I mean, you could definitely argue to play this one over the red one because that streamlines your level 1 a lot. Like your level 1 blue offerings are better than your level 1 red offerings. Level 1 red only has the 1175, whereas you have a 1065 here. Let's not talk about the tuny changes; those are dumb.
Yeah, and like this makes the 2k counter somewhat a thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the deck does want to run events, so this just makes the entire combo very
Again, if you have like 16 misses,
inconsistent.
if
Yeah,
you have 16 misses,
not,
it's rough.
It's not worth it.
There are very few decks that I would say that this effect is good in, and most of those decks get there because they only have plussing triggers and no events.
Yeah,
Isn't
like
that
Teleport.
deck exactly animal?
Like
Yeah,
in Animal,
Teleport,
you're running
yellow green Pion has the level 3 event, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
like two
Well,
other animals
animal
running
has
like 3
Anna
events.
has the
It's running the
What?
vibrator counter.
yeah, it's running the vibrator.
I mean, you could actually argue that this is fine in Puyo, but then you remember Margaro exists.
I mean, I'm always gonna just continually bring up freaking Gigant Shooter because that is by far the best profile
Yeah.
for this effect. But that
Well, Gigantuda also randomly gains 3k.
it is a very strange thing that it does. I don't quite understand it. It's just like a random 8/5 for free.
Hmm.
Yeah.
This card is like niche minus niche, just niche.
Call it niche. I think this card is serviceable. I don't know if you want to play
Yeah.
it.
Next, she looks very
Alright, next
excited.
Good card.
Ame, Brilliant Smile. This is just a sack counter. It's a
Yeah.
2/5 counter with on use of counter. You can pay 2, sack a character to anti-change. This is just a good card. Like it's still quite valuable in against a lot of the field.
You'll probably just have one, right? Because you'll also be running some anti-damage counters anyways.
Yeah, you only need one. Really, I don't think you need.
So it's playable.
You might run 2 and the capo builds.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like money counters is generally more powerful.
Yeah.
Always. Next.
This card is response to confession. This dude confessed to an AI. That's some deep
It
love he's
passed
got
the
there.
Turing test.
This card is sweet. I like it a lot because it reminds me of one of my first favorite cards. It's a 2/17k. Recollection. When this attacks, if you've got 2 or more Dal Segno characters in memory, this gains X power, where X is 2k times the level of the character opposite this.
Oh god.
And when the level 2 or higher battle opponent this is reversed, you may pay 1. If you do, draw a card.
So I guess it's
So, I
kind of
mean,
like a
there are
level 3 assassin.
A couple of parallels you can draw here. The first one is to the recent Resonance Yami, which no one plays for relatively good reason. The deck doesn't need it. The second parallel was to the ye old Komari from the very first Little Busters trial deck. It's a great card, but it's a bit outdated at this point in time. It's just a 2/17k on defense. Komari was 10k on defense. So I'm pretty sure that we have a clear winner here. This is just a worse version of one of the very first level 2s printed in WS.
Yeah.
That being said, I think this card is okay.
I don't
Like,
think
it's
you
a
play
really,
it.
It's really mediocre, but it's okay. I'd maybe play 1.
Nah. I don't think you need it, and I don't think you want to put this card into your deck. It doesn't have any like notable fringe applications where you want to see this card for sure. So like if I'm playing a the one of needs to be something that like if I have it and it matters, it does a lot. But this card is like if I have it and it matters, it does moderate things, and I don't really care. Like I don't want my one-ofs to be mediocre cards. I want my one-ofs to be like choke or boil. Like
Yeah.
it needs to be some really hateful tech.
This doesn't even kill TP Ring. Like, I still think this is playable. I don't think it's very good.
I'm gonna give it niche. Like you're playing it in waifu maybe.
No, I'd play it in a normal deck. Seems fine.
I
You don't
would.
have any other... Like, I don't like relying on the anti-change counter as my only out to advance some level 3s.
Sella needs to be our tiebreaker here.
Well, he's gone off to swig a couple beers. Look, I reckon if your field,
Pretty late to be
if your
drinking over
field's-
there, isn't it?
Of course, it's like 2 a.m. and he's in like Germany or whatever.
I thought it was
Every
Austria.
time, but
I'm not in Germany, but I'm like near asleep. I'm like this close to just drifting off.
Wait,
I'm
where
nearly
are you
done,
from?
man, don't worry. He's from Germany. Now,
No, he's not from Germany.
yes, he is.
He just said he's not from Germany.
If I'm from Germany, then you're from America.
New Zealand. Oh, I was born there, so I am from America. Have we
You're-
cleared that up?
You're American in spirit.
No, he's an
No,
American
I'm
citizen.
American by birth. All right,
You're
so-
American by intelligence. If you're thinking.
okay,
I'm-
that's going a bit far, mate. That's a bit far.
Where are you from?
Okay,
Is
fine.
it Austria?
You can be. He's from Austria. You can
Yeah,
be
yeah.
Austrian, which is like a syllable off Australian.
I mean, it's
Almost
basically
German.
Germany.
Yeah.
You can say
So-
that. Yeah, sure.
If your entire meta is full of level 3 advanced summons that are like pizza sauce or disarme or like that barely break 10k, this is a pretty good card.
Wait,
If you're
pizza sauce always has a 2k counter backup, so it's like not
It's
that
still,
good.
yeah, but he's 10-5. If she has no support, that's 12-5, whereas Ame reaches 13k without support.
Anyways, I'm saying niche. Like she's
Oh.
unplayable.
Yeah, she actually reaches 13k. Yeah, that's neat.
Neato. Even bigger against IMAS.
Yeah, this one blows Iori out of the water. Not Iori, Army out of the
Army.
water. Yeah, anyway, next card. Yeah, changing. She's got another brainstorm for whatever reason. Assist 500.
It's a spammable plus
Brainstorm.
power.
Spammable plus power brainstorm. I don't think you play this.
No.
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 Like, I understand its applications in a deck like Nisekoi, where on reverse stuff is where this power is necessary, but I think DS has ways to get that power.
Yeah, it doesn't need a brainstormer. It doesn't need to spend stock to do it.
Yeah, I think you have other ways to deal with stock if you really are desperate for a stock out. You have 2-cost stock outs. And you do have the Hazuki, which mills 4, so you're not desperate for a spammable mill out as well.
Yeah.
Or you might be, but not
Well, and
desperately.
the Hazuki still costs stock too, so like again, like
I still think this is just at worst a playable card. I just don't think you play
Yeah.
it. You don't have the room.
it's not even necessarily you don't have the room. It's like I don't really see a circumstance where this card comes up and you need it very often.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Ame, Aquarium Date. If you have one or fewer cards, this gains 1k in 1 level. When this becomes reversed in battle, you may pay cost. If you do, search your deck for up to one Dal Segno character added to hand. So the cost is 1 cost. Discard a card from waiting room. Send this to memory. So while on first inspection, this looks a little anti-synergistic because you know it needs to die, and it's getting power in a level. I think this is actually kind of neat.
Well, the power level is
Yeah.
really nice. It lets you dodge the
This
stock
is
and clock bombs.
A really interesting card, especially for a common.
Yeah, just it dodges the stock and clock bomb is the important part, I think. It also is just like if your opponent can't beat it, then they have to let you plus.
And like, well, it's not plus. It's a hand fix, but
No.
No,
let
if
you
they
plus
can't beat it.
oh
If
yeah,
they
if
can't,
beat it. Yeah.
then you plus this.
I mean, like I play Ursula is a good enough card in Index that like it's worth playing. Like this card is fine. This card is like I would play some number of this card.
This is strictly better than Ursula in that it fetches 1, everything, and 2, it doesn't die to stock and clock bombs if you are like on turn 1 or 2.
That's not strictly better.
Well, it is strictly better.
It's situationally better. Ursula is 15.
No, Ursula's 10.
Is she? Could have sworn
No,
she's
she's
15.
got magic. She's got magic tax.
Yeah.
Oh, she does have magic tax.
I don't even think it's like just magic text because the student council searcher from Ancient Beats is also just 1k.
Sedokai is one of those traits that gets taxed because it was in DS. It was in DC1.
Oh, okay. Oh, sure.
So it is just early trait tax, basically. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
this is strictly better than Ursula, and Ursula is fine. I think it's almost strictly better than the railgun one as well, for whatever it's worth. and it goes to memory, which fuels a couple of your
Isn't
other
the
cards.
Raygun one the same as Ursula, just for
No,
ESP?
it's 1/5. It's 1/5 for Esper.
Oh, okay.
Esper is not a taxed trait. So yeah, I give this card a playable.
Yeah, this card
I
is
don't
Yeah,
playable.
playable is fine.
I don't think it's any better than playable because you have better level 1 card, the better level 0 cards you want to play out turn 1. But this is a serviceable one. Like, there's no problem with this card.
Oh, the card's fine.
Next card, Ame, 2 after school. When it's placed from hand to stage, you may look at the top card of your deck, put it either on top or bottom, and then when Lost Administrator of the Paradise, which is what is that? That's a 2k1 soul. No, it's a split soul.
Oh god.
It is a draw a card and then give 2 characters 1 soul. Yep. So when that's placed to climax zone, if this is in the front row, check the top card of your deck. If it's a cost 0 or lower, you may put it on any slot on stage.
But the value, because you can scry.
I mean, that is correct, but all your
This scries. It scries for herself. Wombo combo.
yeah, that's
Actually,
fair.
that's
Alright,
false
so-
because you draw off the climax.
No, you don't. It's an auto ability.
Oh
and
yeah,
you
it's
can
when
do
it's
both.
placed.
Yeah, you
do
can
them in
like
sequence.
choose when to use what, but it's still like
Couldn't do that in Magic.
Yes.
it's
I
not
think
worth
this is.
time and space. Basically.
No, it's not. I also don't
No,
want
I
to
think
split
this
soul.
is. Yeah, not worth. Well, split soul's fine, but it's not worth the character space or the climax space. That's all. I would regard the most valuable thing on this card as the scry, and that's not a good sign for the card.
I mean, there are scry 2s, so you don't need this.
Yeah. No, I'm not a fan. I think it's a niche card at best.
Sure.
Yeah.
IO, nice feeling treatment. It's a 0025. When this is reversed in battle, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Dal Segno character, send this to memory.
Wow, this seems really common in Da Capo.
Nah, we've got 2
it's
cards.
just this
that do it.
instead, okay.
Oh.
But like
I-
this is a decent
this-
profile. I like this.
I don't.
I don't think you
like
need
this
it.
in this.
Any-
I don't like it in this because it doesn't have shift.
It's
But-
not just that.
but
it's
you
like
have
there's
other
no
ways to get
payoff for
memory.
Yeah, what's your payoff for memory in this set? You don't have one.
You just get it.
You don't really care if you don't get 2 memory. Like, this card is just a 2/5 that doesn't do anything since you're not really getting much memory. Like, this profile is good in Gen A, it's good in Sedokai, because those sets care about memory. DS doesn't care about memory. What
I'm trying
cards
to
are...
remember something that the 1/1 counter.
There are no... Well, that needs 1 card in memory, which you can get
No,
with
that
any
needs
number
2.
of other cards. Does it?
1/1 counter needs 2. Yeah.
The 1/1 count. Oh, right. I thought you
Yeah.
meant the...
No, the 1/0
the
only
Himari
needs
counter.
1.
The Himari
No, the
counter...
1/0
yeah, I mean,
only needs
Character on board.
island straight.
sure, but I'm not playing a 1/1 3k counter in a set that doesn't
Yeah,
even have dedicated
probably.
walls. Or like
Yeah.
decently sized walls. I don't want to spend stock with a deck like this. So I don't think there's a memory payoff at all. There's just
Yeah,
nothing
sure, that's fine.
nothing that pays you off having more than 1 memory.
This is like one of those things you'll passively get, and like it'll help, but you don't need to seek it out. So like this card doesn't
but it
need
won't
to.
it won't help. It's like a very minor compression bonus
I
that
mean,
doesn't actually
it is
benefit
still
you.
free compression, so you'll still take it. It's
I
just-
mean, like I argued with
It's
you
not free,
about
though.
this.
okay, it's not. You do pay a stock for those, but like it's not free. But the effects that are tied to
No,
the cards,
it's not free in that you're using up deck space for it.
but you're using up deck space for like the Searcher and your mill effect.
Yeah, but these cards go to memory and also do other things. This just
I'm
goes to
just
memory.
saying you don't need this. You have like you're probably running like at least 6 of the other ones, right?
Yeah. That's why I don't think you need this. It's just not a card you need. It's a really neat card. I think it's a strong effect in a vacuum, assuming there are memory payoffs. There aren't memory payoffs. That's the problem. Because if there aren't memory payoffs, this goes from being a decent card to being like, why are you playing this again? This isn't even to mention the fact that these are decks which run like probably 2 Ogawa, 2 anti-damage or the 2/3 counter, 2 anti-damage or Xylophone, and obviously 8 climaxes. That's a fair number of misses, and at that point this becomes worse than vanilla. Sold on this card.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's bad. There's just no reason to run it. I think it's.
I don't know about bad.
I think it's
It's
niche.
niche.
I don't
Niche.
think it's bad.
I don't know.
It's definitely niche because there are decks you want to run it in. There are decks which only want compression for the sake of compression. But those are gimmick decks.
I'll still give it a niche minus then. Like it's even in that circumstance, it feels like it's not even that effective.
Don't worry, you get to give a bad rating to
It's
the next
free
card.
compression.
I mean, the next card is a vanilla.
No, it's not. You missed the
not?
card.
Oh,
It's a 0025. It's another Tuni. So it has, when this becomes reversed, you may pay cost. The cost is to clock your top deck. If so, rest to this.
wow.
And this does not stand during your next stand phase.
This is like the shittiest clock encore. Bad.
I mean, you can always combo with the 2-1 alarm to stand
Bad.
it forcibly.
Bad. Bad. Next up is also
Yeah.
vanilla. Also bad.
I agree this time because you have better throwdowns. Like the next one, 004K Ame. It's a 004K gains the character opposite this gains Encore, and all your other characters cannot side attack.
It's actually not a bad
This is
beater.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a playable beater. I don't know if you need it, but you have it.
All right, next card is Ame. First Kiss, 104K. When this is placed from hand stage, choose a character. That character gains X power to the next end of your opponent's turn, where X is 500 times that character's level. And then we have, this is somewhat reminiscent of the 0-0. When a climax is placed to the climax zone, you may bounce this to your hand. If so, choose a character. That character gains 1,000 power to the turn.
I actually straight up
The end
think
of
this is
the turn.
outclassed by the 0-0.
I think it is worse than the 0-0, yeah.
Yeah.
The 0-0
0-0
one is
is-
always
which
pumping
is
1,000,
really
and then
weird.
it pumps 2k when you bounce it. So, like, this
Yeah.
feels outclassed.
This will never give you more than 2,500 unless you go out of your way to increase something's level.
There's this. It's definitely less good in my mind. I'm gonna
This is
actually give this a
actually
bad because if you're running this and not the 0, you're doing it wrong. And if you're already running the 0, then you don't need this.
Well, technically, you can give this 500 power, it'll become a 4,500, and then when you bounce back to your hand, it will become a 508.
Still bad.
No, it's just bad because it doesn't do anything. Next card. Ame of Everlasting Summer Paradise. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may ditch a card. If so, choose a Paradise system, which is the yellow 1-1 event and the blue 1-1 event we'll talk about in a bit, and return it to your hand. And then when this attacks, if you have cards in memory, this gains X power, where X is the number of your Dal Segno characters.
If you're really going ham on the event, sure, niche.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
This is
No.
niche. It's niche because it is a discard out and it is linked to the event, which is a card, I suppose. But I
It
don't
is a
think
card, yes.
I'm not a fan.
I'm not sure if it is a card that you want to see, but it is a card.
On a
Alright,
plus note,
yeah,
she
we-
triggers her own memory condition.
Yes.
To a degree. No, notice that it says you need cards in memory. You don't need
Character.
Characters, yeah.
Which is whatever. All right. I mean, if you take Paradise System out of memory, then this no longer gets power. Oh, the anti-synergy.
Next up is
Anyway.
vanilla.
Kanade Ame's successor. This one is notable because it's a huge spoiler.
And you even pointed it out, man. Shame on you.
I'm the
Shame.
best. It's okay. She probably got uploaded and is now a DLC for your Bonzi Buddy
No.
desktop
You
app.
see, if she gets uploaded, then she has to compete with Lane for being like god of the internet.
No, just uploaded to this guy, the main character's computer. So he has a literal digital waifu.
I don't know if uploaded
Anyway.
is the word you're looking for.
IO, Everlasting Summer Paradise. 216k. If you have 5 or fewer cards in deck, this gains -1 level in your hand. What? And all your other Dal Segno characters gain 1k.
Why?
I
Why?
mean, it's...
Yes. Things.
Why?
it is a card that does things. No, I don't think this card gets played. It's got a retarded condition, and if you're going to play a support, you may like
is
it is
just-
still. It's
it's
1k
just-
global. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a 1k global.
I'm still
I
gonna
think
give
I'd
it
rather play
niche.
Patsuki. I'm gonna give it a bad. I'd rather play Husky because you're never gonna have 3 cards you want to support with this. Well, I mean, you might, but is that really what you want to do with this set?
Nah.
I don't think it is. I'm gonna give it a bad.
Yeah, I don't know what to give it. It's just card. Give it a card rating.
Give it card rating. Yeah,
Not
it
a-
is
not
a
a
card
rating.
that exists. All right, just a couple more.
Oh,
outfit,
no, we
outfit.
have the memory payoff.
Oh, God. No.
Of course. 2175. If you have 2 or more Dal Segno characters in memory, for each of your other Dal Segno characters, this gains 500 power. Blue Encore. So this is a 2195 if you have 2 memory.
Bad? That's not actually bad. Niche? You don't play this.
It's
No, you
it's like
don't
niche.
play this.
It's niche minus. Like I could see someone playing it, but I don't think they'd be happy about it.
You could just
All right.
spend an extra stock and get a heal out of it.
It's the only male character on a card.
Yeah, well,
He
the hat
also
might
looks
be male,
weird as
never know.
fuck.
But the hat is the hat is magic, so I don't give a fuck.
This guy's name is probably Suginami Yamato. Just pointing it out.
His name is Yamato.
Yeah. It's a 2295, gets -1 level on the stage, huzzah. And when this is placed from hand to stage, if you have 4 or more other characters with either Dal Segno or newspaper, you may put the top card of your deck in your stuff. Look, I don't play newspaper, but I sincerely doubt this is what they want.
Well, you don't want a 2/1 2
I
soul
would
beater.
hope that they don't want this, but they got the Sarah early play, so
Yeah,
they
yes.
don't play this.
I mean, why would you possibly play this?
Yeah.
And you already have like a bunch of 2/1s in that deck that you changed into.
Yeah, this card seems.
Oh wait, no,
pretty
no, that's only sports. Never mind.
This card seems pretty
Never
mediocre.
I mean, you can run the sports stuff in newspaper, right?
I don't know if that's Sarah's newspaper trade though.
Pretty sure all Sarahs are. No, they might be
No,
magic.
there are
Yeah,
there are
you're right.
magic ones.
Yeah.
No, I think this is bad. You'll never run this.
Yeah.
All right, last card.
Well,
Paradise
you
System.
never run it because it's a dude.
Good card.
I run Suginami. I don't run this.
I have Suginami sleeves. I'm not gonna get sleeves for this guy.
Oh, can you sell me the Suginami sleeves? I need those.
They're on. It's Suginami from the Capo 2 though, so it's the snarky looking one.
Oh,
It's not your
fuck.
Suginami.
Damn it.
Paradise System 1/1. So send this to memory. This is familiar to those of you who watched the first video. Recollection. Put this in the waiting room. When damage taken by you is not cancelled, if this is in your memory and the damage is 3 or more, again, this seems familiar, right? You may pay cost. If you do, you get a... Oh, alright.
This was
You
way
look
better
it
than
up
the other
to-
one, by the way.
I disagree.
What?
Look it up to fork. Oh, put the rest on top. Oh, okay, never mind.
This
If
is
so,
very
look-
interesting.
What?
Look it up to 4 cards from the top of your library, add 1 of those to hand, and put the rest of those cards on top in any order.
This is like actually anti-damage. Like this is basically Compass. If you took 3.
It's not. If there's no climax in the top 4, then nothing happens.
Just like Compass. No, I'm just joking. Compass actually mills 3 if there's no climax in the top 4, so or top 3. So
Yeah, this is interesting. You're betting on the idea that you're going to have a climax in the top 4. Now, if that's the case, all this does is be a 1/1 take a card from the top 4 at that point in time event. And
But
that's not good enough.
that's where the mind games begin.
No, there are no mind games. Like, you can choose.
You also get to add
not
events.
use.
It also adds other events to your hand.
Okay, sure. You can add another copy of this to go infinite. I've demonstrated a loop. I will now never take any more damage ever again. Yes, that is exactly what this card
Where
does.
the thing about this where this loop goes wrong is that you need to take damage so that
Yeah,
you can
here's-
keep
here's the thing.
looping.
If you've taken 3 damage, then chances are you'll cancel the next attack even without help. Like, yeah, there are mind games. It can be like, whoa, where have I put the climax in my top 4? Is it gonna
I
be
am
on
magician.
top? Yeah,
Climax is real talk. Climax is nowhere in the top 4 cards. So not like it
and
matters.
that's the plot.
Real talk. I took the climax. It's in my hand.
Nice. No, so basically, what this does is, if you're going to cancel anyway, you cancel anyway. If you weren't going to cancel, I guess you're 1 card closer to canceling if your opponent decides to swing huge, which they won't after you use this event. Like, if you have a poker face at all, then your opponent's not going to swing huge. So I guess if you can make that work in your favor, and if it was just going to be normal, if you're going to cancel one attack afterwards, you just ate 3. Chances are you're going to cancel something. You guarantee that cancel. That's all that it does, and it does very little else. Otherwise, it's a 1/1 random tutor event. You tutor from the top cards, 4 cards of your deck at a random point in time, and I don't think that's nearly good enough. I guess you might scare someone into not attacking you for 3 because they're worried that you might go with the flow of the game anyway. God, I can't make this card sound good, honestly.
I will just say this is interesting, and you probably shouldn't play it regardless.
I think the yellow one is outright better as a build around. I'm gonna give this one a bad.
I actually don't think this card is that bad. I'm gonna give it a niche.
Fair enough.
I'm keeping my card rating.
He's varying between drunk and asleep. So that comes to the end of Dal Segno. It might be a while before we do an overview because we need to organize the Decabo cast, possibly with different people, because the people who care about Dal Segno are not the people who care about Decabo,
There are
and vice
people who
versa.
cared about Dal Segno.
Well, I actually care about both, but like,
I mean, I
Tom
kind
the
of care
Big
about
Bomb.
this. He's only he's only DC. Yeah,
Tim Tom the Bim Bom.
Tom the Big
Yeah.
Bomb, but he's busy having a life or something lame like that.
No, you
Anyway.
see, we had to disrupt our everyday lives to make this video.
I had to wake up. It was the
Christian
worst.
had to
I
stay
had
awake.
to stay awake. Yeah.
It's 7 p.m. for me, so this was like I was ready.
We should start a Patreon.
We should start.
Anyway.
No, but then we would have to do regular
Obligated
content.
to do things. Yeah, I know it's
Do,
dumb.
do you know
No,
how much
Patreon is-
like we don't put out that
Patreon
much
isn't-
content.
No, we don't. Well, we do it regularly as long as set release is regular, but Patreon is per product, not
Okay,
regular.
so like, what are we gonna say? Like, give us $3 per video? Like,
I mean, we're not gonna start a Patreon. That's dumb. That's a sellout thing, and we don't need them. Well, I don't need the money. Maybe you need the money.
I don't need the money.
But
I have a
that's- That's
job.
not something. Yeah, that's not something we care to do. Anyway,
We only need like
we'll-
$3 total to run the website each year.
it's about $20, I think.
Is it actually?
It is $20 a year.
Dang, we just need to like hook up
You
an
get
AdSense.
$20 ad revenue.
We don't have ads.
We don't have ads.
Oh,
Yeah, like it's funded out of pocket.
Like
Anyway.
because
wait,
we wanted to.
Is WordPress actually $20?
No, it's because we have our own.
No.
We have our
We don't. We have the org. We have the org domain
yeah
name.
top
We don't have-
toptiertraders.org. We have like we actually
Oh.
own a domain,
Okay,
and by we I mean our.
that makes
our-
sense.
I
web
really
admin.
don't know if the video is still going or not, but if it is, then congratulations, you got insight into the silliness that is top tier tiers.
We
If-
don't know how to do anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not for profit. It's for the greater community, and it's making everyone into sheep, apparently.
Yeah.
Wait, are we
We
Man,
do-
you,
people
you
in the
took
sheep?
my meme out of my mouth. It's sad.
We apparently a lot, but anyway.
Wait, what was the last
Uh,
time we actually posted a deck list?
I'm just, well, I mean, I've been updating the meta post pretty regularly.
Oh, this is true.
like,
we do have that
Once every
page.
week, once every week and a half. But outside of that, I don't like deck lists. You can go to 9CX for deck lists. That's
Don't
all
go to
prohibited.
90CX for deck lists.
He said it, not me. Anyway,
We are not
that's all we
affiliated
got
with
time
9CX.
for
Just
today.
ask on. No, don't ask on foreign either. Ask me or ask Samson Chow or
Well,
ask
Yeah,
people
if,
that.
if you tag Samson Chow, we will be there.
Yeah, we will be there,
Yeah,
and we will help.
Yeah. All right, so that's all we got time for today. We'll do DC at some point in the future. This isn't going to be like that. Whatever color of Schoolgirl Strikers we didn't do.
One
We're
day.
gonna do DC because there's vested interest here. Like we care about DC.
I don't.
We don't care about whatever it was that was. Yeah, you're just here to meme about terraformers, but
I mean, and
That's
the God
fine.
Shooter, and complain about
Yeah.
Subaru. This is like my general thing.
that's your shtick, and that's fine by me. Anyway, that's all from us this week, or like this period of time, and we'll find some other time to do DC.
I mean, I'm sure this video will be up by the end of the month.
Have some sleep.
That didn't sound like English. All right.
All right, you get to go to sleep.